Was this a Suez moment in Washington yesterday? Did the British poodle ask its American master to allow it to do something in Ukraine, in Russia, that the American government said no to? Or is it all kabuki theater?
Well, it's not kabuki theater. This is actually, we came very close to all dying yesterday. I just want to drive this point home. Annie Jacobsen has written a book on nuclear war. It's a fiction book, but it's based upon interviews she's had with nuclear war planners. I've read the book. It's very accurate. 72 minutes is what it will take from start to finish to end of the world. 72 minutes. And we almost ended the world yesterday, because had Tony Blinken and the British defense minister gone to Kiev and do what they were planning on doing, which is giving a green light to the Ukrainian forces to use British and American-made long-range strike weapons against targets inside Russia. Had we done that, the Russians would have launched a retaliation that would have triggered a global ending nuclear war. This is a statement of fact. How do we know this? Because the Russians told us this. We had a trifecta of public statements made by the Russians, starting with Vladimir Putin, who said this will be an act of war. We had the Russian ambassador to the United Nations tell the Security Council in session that if this happens, it is a declaration of war. And then we had Anatoly Antonov, the Russian ambassador, say on Friday, understand that our retaliation will not just be limited to Ukraine and NATO. We will hit the United States as well. This woke up the Biden administration. There was a back channel, too, that not too many people talk about. It's believed to be through the intelligence services. And the Russians were apparently very explicit as to what would be done. So explicit that the Biden administration pulled the plug on something it wanted to do. This wasn't just about the British, poodle trying to, pull a quick one. We were part of this, too. We, together with the British and NATO, believed that Russia was bluffing, that Russia would never follow through, that this was just another red line that was going to be crossed. This time, the Russian response apparently woke up the Biden administration, especially the back channel response, which was very, very blunt and very explicit as to what would happen. I will say, if you live in London, you are very lucky today that the United States pulled the plug, because you wouldn't be here today. If you live in other places in Europe, if you live near Ramstein Air Base, if you live near Brussels, you are very fortunate today, because you'd be dead.